In recent years, few cases have triggered as much global attention as the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Headlines, documentaries, court filings, and public debates have attempted to answer one central question: what exactly happened, and what does the case reveal about power, influence, and accountability in modern society? But beyond the sensational narratives, the Epstein case offers something much deeper. It opens a window into how elite networks operate, how information is managed, and how public trust can be shaped through media framing, political pressure, and institutional silence. Today, we're not here to spread rumors. We're here to analyze what is publicly known, what journalists have documented, and what larger systems this case exposes. This is not about conspiracy. It's about context, it's about power, and it's about understanding what's really happening beneath the surface. Part 1. Why the Epstein case matters. Jeffrey Epstein was a financier who became known globally after being charged with serious federal crimes involving exploitation. His arrest in 2019 was expected to lead to major revelations about powerful individuals connected to him. However, his death in federal custody shifted the entire narrative. Instead of focusing only on one person, attention turned to institutions. How does a high-profile detainee get monitored? How do prison systems operate? And how does public trust survive when transparency is limited? According to official investigations, Epstein died while being held in a federal facility. Independent reviews later pointed to failures in staffing, camera monitoring, and protocol enforcement. These are not theories. They are documented operational failures. When high-risk detainees are involved, any breakdown becomes a public issue. Not because of speculation, but because accountability is required in democratic systems. Part 2. Power networks and access. One of the most important lessons from this case is not about Epstein himself, but about access. Public records, flight logs, court testimony, and journalism show that Epstein had social and professional connections across business, politics, academia, and philanthropy. This doesn't automatically mean wrongdoing by others, but it highlights a truth about elite spaces. Power operates through proximity. Influence grows when people move in the same rooms, attend the same events, fund the same initiatives, and share the same social circles. Journalists often describe this as network power. It's not about secret control. It's about opportunity and leverage created through relationships. In many major scandals throughout history, the story isn't about one individual, but about how systems protect reputation, minimize damage, and control narrative exposure. Part 3. Media framing and public perception. Another key element is media behavior. When major scandals occur, media outlets face a dilemma: report aggressively or manage risk. Different outlets emphasize different angles. Some focus on institutional reform, some on political responsibility, some on individual behavior. But what often gets overlooked is how stories evolve over time. At first, reporting is intense, then attention shifts. Then the public conversation becomes polarized. Instead of asking what systems failed, people start asking which side benefits. This is how complex investigations turn into partisan narratives. And once that happens, the original purpose, transparency and accountability, becomes secondary to political branding. Part 4. Government, files, and transparency. In democratic societies, government agencies are expected to release information responsibly while protecting due process and privacy. However, high-profile cases create pressure on both sides. Pressure to reveal, pressure to withhold. Documents tied to criminal investigations often include sensitive data: names, testimonies, addresses, and personal records. That's why document releases are slow and legally complex. But delays also generate suspicion. When information is postponed, the public fills gaps with assumptions. Not because people are irrational, but because transparency builds trust and absence of it creates doubt. In modern politics, perception matters almost as much as evidence. Part 5. Intelligence, influence, and history. Journalists studying elite networks often point out something important. Power systems are rarely isolated. They connect business, politics, intelligence, finance, and media. Throughout history, from financial scandals to geopolitical crises, investigations show recurring patterns. Elite social circles, financial leverage, political positioning, narrative management. This doesn't mean secret control. It means systems evolve to protect stability and reputation. The Epstein case fits into this larger historical framework, not as a singular anomaly, but as a case study of how modern influence networks function.